everyone. Long time no see to Purple Noon, a podcast. We deeply apologize for the delay in our posting and everything. But hey, the holidays were coming up upon us. Lots of things unexpected came about that we're going to talk about for a little bit. This is a little bit of an update episode to let you know where we're standing right now in life, in the podcast and stuff. Don't worry, we're not quitting. We're not taking any more breaks. We're done. We're done. So, and now we're gonna just catch up a little, if you will. So, of course, as always, I have here with me Savanna Lanausse.
Hi, everybody.
It's only been about a month, but it does feel very...
This time it feels long. It feels
very long, but it also feels like now that we're recording and I see like the little timer and stuff saying like, you've been recording for a minute now. Like, it doesn't feel that far away, you know?
Yeah. Back in our groove.
Yeah. Like it's just one of those things where it's I hate to use that corny expression where it's like picking up a bike again. It's like all of a sudden, like I hit go and I'm like, oh yeah, I used to do this like every week, only about a month ago, but it feels so long, but so short simultaneously.
I agree. It's funny because I feel me and Stephanie, per usual, of course, got sick at some point. Back to back. I think me and you, I think
Purple Moon podcast until one of us got sick. Luckily not with the COVID, but just other things. It's like, oh, not even COVID. I think I had like some type of infection earlier. You, my lord, were like underneath a doctor's microscope for
like 3 months.
It's just, this is what happens when the universe makes a podcast that involves two anemic, both immunocompromised ladies. So it happens. And then you take those two people and set them in the setting of a pandemic. Anything is possible.
Yes. Yeah.
But fortunately, do you want to talk a little bit about your health journey? And, I obviously right now you're doing a lot better, but do you want to talk a little bit about it and what happened?
Yeah. So for 3 months, I won't get too graphic, but essentially, I had some kind of bladder infection.
Mm-hmm.
They thought it was many different things, UTIs, whatever.
It was a UTI, a bladder cyst. It was you're crazy, you're mental, you're stressed. It was everything at one point.
No, yeah. And unfortunately, I just kept kind of, okay, it's this and that. I took maybe about 4 or 5 different antibiotics. And it's come to find out 3 months later, it was just my IUD.
It was just the IUD.
And in fact that they don't know if it was infected. They don't know if it just moved a little bit. No one can give me an answer. But essentially, the minute I took it out, I was cool. So anything is possible with birth control, I guess. But it was very traumatic for me because just imagine you take your antibiotic for a week and then that feeling comes back.
And you also had, like, it wasn't just like, oh, I felt a little icky. You also had, like, one really scary, like, hospitalization,
Well, yeah, because they put me on this medication that was supposed to essentially, like, numb some of the feeling I was having. But the medication in general, even the regular side effects, they were really hard. I felt tired all the time. I was sleeping. And then I'm in the bathtub and I literally just, my vision blurred and I couldn't see. It was the scariest thing.
Crazy. And I'm really happy that you had actually asked me because I'm in pharmacy school. I have access to like databases and stuff like that. And she had asked me prior about what the medication was and what are some side effects to be aware of. And I remember specifically saying like, oh, hey, if you notice anything in like your vision and stuff, that possibly means that you're allergic to the medication.
Yep.
And it wasn't even that you were allergic. It was because that there was what the medication was for wasn't even present in your system. So it couldn't work.
Yeah, no, I think the most frustrating thing about that experience was I went to several doctors and I had told the doctors, I'm like, hey, could this be my IUD? And I got, no, that doesn't happen. It's very rare. Everything looks good in that situation. And eventually 3 months later, I go see like a specialist. She is both a urologist and a gynecologist. And I was like, hey, I think this is my IUD. And she looked at me. She's like, anything's possible. We'll take it out. And we took it out. And guess what?
And that was like after like what, 3 doctors had told you no?
That was after like 4 or 5 doctors.
Yeah,
Because I'm
so
counting
crazy.
the ER doctor. But, you know, luckily I ask Stephanie anything medically now, and I've been doing that for years. And you were the first person to be like, hey, like, you should go get your IUD checked out.
Yeah, because I mean, like, if you just think about it, it's like some plastic object in your system. You're telling me that there's 0 chances of bacteria lingering on that or potentially just causing any issues, or literally just your body going like, yo, I don't know what that is. Can we get it out? And just doing whatever it can, you know? Like, it's like, it's not just with those, like, there's the implant ones. There's like so many things that, you know, people don't realize that that easily could be the issue, you know?
Birth control is a lot in general. And nobody would also believe me because I had it in for 2 years. So everyone's just like, nah, your body's used to it by now. But that essentially was contributing to like us not recording for a while, because I think every 2 weeks
you were on like side effects medications and everything like that.
It would just come back every 2 weeks for 3 months. So yeah, I was done. But luckily, guys, it's been 2 months and I had no issues. Well, actually a month and a half, no issues. But this is just a PSA. If you're having some bladder problems, chronic bladder problems, check your birth control, because I learned that the hard way.
And literally, like, if you ever have, like, as a pharmacy student, this is my PSA. If you have something wrong in your body and the doctor gives you something and it's not working and they don't want to do anything else, keep going to doctors. I know that seems like really crappy, you know, the fact that it's like, oh, you can't just like find the number one doctor all the time, sadly, you know, or the number one person who's going to fix your issues. But like, don't give up. Like, just because one doctor says like, oh yeah, there's nothing we could do about it. People come from all different types of educations, all different types of backgrounds, you know? So just keep trying until you find someone that actually can provide something that helps you along the way, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. Also, just demand a specialist. I wish I'd have done that sooner. I wasn't demanding the particular person I should have. And if I did that, maybe I would have, you know, swerved the situation a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But medically now I'm fine. I had a weird cold.
Oh yeah, you had like after your boosty, you had like a little like phantom cold.
I had a weird cold and I thought it was COVID. I thought it was Omicron.
You know what? You are better though than my boyfriend, because after he got his booster, for one whole day, everything tasted like butter to him. It was the most weirdest phenomenon ever. Even when he was drinking water, he was like, the water tastes slightly buttery. So we don't know what happened. He did go to a doctor and they were like, look, we don't know. Like, luckily it only happened for like 1 day, but they were like, we can't explain butter taste, you know? So luckily it went away, but hey, like anything is kind of possible, you know? Or at least maybe I kind of think my boyfriend's sense of taste is already a little bit off in general. I'm maybe thinking he was getting like a bitter or a metallic taste, because that is a symptom from getting boosted. But no, it just went straight into buttermouth for him.
I mean, you know, the human body is such an interesting situation. Yeah. Like you said, anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Your body does so many crazy, kooky things on a regular. Do not take it for granted and do not be misled by it, or misled by the ideology that's like, oh yeah, your body's just a simple thing. No, that is a machinery, 100%. And you know what? If you ever have buttermouth, go get it checked out, because it might not be a symptom of a booster shot for you. It could possibly be something else, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Like, stomach pain to one person might just be like stomach pain. Stomach pain to another person might be celiac disease, which is what I have. So always go, PSA, get your health in checked. It's about to be 2022. Get your health in checked. And when you sneeze, cover your mouth, because I'm getting tired and I'm about to start yelling at people, okay?
I
But
couldn't
yeah,
agree
and then
more.
I also was on, like, some medication too because I have a skin condition, fun, cute cute girl shit, but, yeah, I was on it, and then I literally became a vampire because it was an antibiotic with a sun sensitivity on it, and I am
Oh,
already
yeah.
pale as a ghost. I'm already sun sensitive, so I literally couldn't go outside for, like, a month while on this medication, but I'm all good now, so I guess it paid off. I mean, I have severe low vitamin D, but nothing a little OJ can't fix, you know?
No, yeah. Sunscreen. Some intense sunscreen for a
Well,
little
some
bit.
intense sunscreen, I would literally go out for, like, 10 minutes and then come back in before I would risk any chance of, like, getting burned and stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't tan, I don't tan, and my mom would be like, "Why are you sitting in the sun?" And I'm like, "I don't wanna get depressed because vitamin D is a very important vitamin and make sure you don't get depressed." Like, in terms of, like, it can lead to if you're very deficient, it can lead to depression. But yeah, I'd be like, I'm not trying not to get depressed, mom." Because I live chronically online, so I
Oh,
need
yeah.
just
You're in the
that
house all
little bit.
day.
Sadly, my computer screen is not bright enough to fill in my vitamin D content, but maybe one day it will be, and I'll never have to leave my house.
Yeah.
That will be my Joker
That's
arc. And
that's the goal.
that will be my Joker arc. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then when we finally, like, you were starting to feel better, we were about to record a podcast, and then all of a sudden I got a call and my ass got shipped to New Jersey.
That was a
Um,
good thing.
that was a good thing, yes, but, like, that definitely because immediately after there were finals and then the holidays. So, the reason why I was shipped off to Jersey is because I received an excellent preposition, and I actually got to go to Jersey, and I can't say too much about it, but essentially I ended up working on a scene in Clerks 3, so that was a lot
Super
of fun.
exciting.
It was awesome, and I can't reveal much, but essentially, I was also able to see Clerks 3 because the scene that I filmed was just a little additive.
Yeah.
Essentially, and I could talk about that scene because Kevin did talk about it on Twitter, so I'm going to talk about it. But essentially, it was a scene. I accompanied his mother to fly to Jersey, helped her, get there and everything like that, and then we essentially shot a cameo scene for her. And so I'm saying this, and if anyone from Smodco is listening, Kevin literally posted it on his Twitter and Instagram like not too long ago. So I don't think I'm revealing too much here. Plus, also, you guys didn't make me sign an NDA, so that was on you guys. But yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and it was really fun to be around. It was a very, very quick filming. I think I was only there for about 3 or 4 days, and then I got to go to some like Kevin Smith / Clerks related events. So I got to see Clerks 3 literally at the Quick Stop. There's a building right next to the Quick Stop, and I actually got to see like Clerks 3 where Clerks 1, 2, and 3 were made. So that was really fun. And then there was also like a little Clerks panel with some of the cast from the original movie. And so I got to listen in on that. I was in the back room doing schoolwork because I still had a lot of schoolwork. So I'm just listening back behind stage. I have a little iPad and a little portable keyboard, and I'm just doing notes. And so it was so weird because I'm just listening to them talking about Clerks. And then I'm like, this is what happens to do if you are impaired and are suffering drug addiction. Like, taking that away as because it was on a lecture on like doctors and impairment and drug addiction and stuff like that.
Sure.
And so I'm like doing that while listening, hey guys, I'm Mary Kevin Smith. So it was really interesting to have like both my school world and then the film world right next to me,
That is amazing. That's such an awesome experience too.
It was fun and it worked out well. And luckily, like it was a short enough time and it happened perfectly because normally I have exams on Mondays. If there are no exams on Mondays, I just have the day off. So it happened to be the same weekend where, the same strip of time where I did not have a class on Monday. So it made it so much easier. It was a lot of fun and everything. But yeah, I was definitely not expecting it. I did not know literally until 3 or 4 days before I left.
Yeah.
So it was really fun. It was a lot of fun. I'm happy, I thought it was a really cool way to kind of end off 2021,
We love that. We
I
love
will say
that.
it was literally like the first week of Omicron. So I was like, I'm hoping I'm going to get lucky. And luckily I didn't get sick or
No.
anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, you also are very good with taking care of yourself in those situations. You had the vitamin C packs.
I
You
got
had
my
everything.
vitamins. I have my little wipies, because at the end of the day, I also just kind of realized like everyone is so sick of living in a pandemic world. And it's like, look, I'm going to clean my counter off just in case, because maybe the person who works on the plane or wherever I'm at was like, not today. I'm tired. I'm having a crap day.
Yeah.
Like it happens. So I'm just like, okay, I'll just take care of it myself,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like people be stressed, especially, oh my God, I swear to God, I thought I saw an airline like flight attendant almost like decked a person in the face
I'm
because
sure they're
after
so sick of
everything,
this. I'm sure they're so sick of these people. Yeah.
like after everything, like it was to the point where the guy, like, keep in mind, like when you book flights, you agree to all that stuff. It's all in the fine
Yeah.
print, whether or
Yeah.
not you like to mask, it's you agree to it the minute you book your plane ticket. So this person literally wore a mask throughout the entire airport until the minute we got on the plane, took it off. And they're like, no, you got to put it on. He's like, I don't think I will.
What?
Delayed us 30 minutes.
But
Like,
why
it
would
came to
you?
the
Do you
point
think you're
where
going to get your way? I don't
the pilot
understand.
came out and was like, listen, bud, you got 3 options. We either arrest you now, like full like interrogation. Like I was so shocked, but I could see that they were just so done with it. They're like, all right, here's what we do. We could either have police escort you and arrest you right now. You do this crap on the flight in midair, we will land wherever we need to land to make sure that you get arrested. Or you could do it in Florida. Your pick. And then immediately he just kind of quietly like tucked on his mask and stuff like that. And oh my God, the flight attendants, they were cursing underneath their breath as they walked away. They were like, stupid. Like they were so
I
angry.
don't blame them. They got to deal with this on the daily. Somebody always wants to be a hero and I'm going to fight for my rights. It's
It's like, bruh,
ridiculous.
why you gotta fight for your rights 40,000 feet in the air, please? Not today, so there was that, and it delayed us for actually, like, even though like the whole thing was only about 2 minutes, it delayed the entire flight like 30 minutes because literally like they have to do paperwork on that, because if something does happen in the middle of the air, then there's some type of like track record, so
That's extremely annoying.
so yeah, so it was a lot. It was a lot. And then also like the pilot literally got out of his seat. Everyone had to go back into position and stuff. And it literally like delayed for 30 minutes. But what was great too is that at least, the other passengers were like ready to brawl. They were like ready to brawl. They were like just waiting on like the flight
delayed
attendant.
30 minutes for some please.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to burp. So crazy. But yeah, so there was that. And that was really like the only downfall of the trip, was just having to see that and just eye rolling and stuff like that. I will say immediately after that, so many people were upset. Everyone was like, yeah, I'll take a beer. Everyone was drinking on the flight. Everyone. But overall, it was really fun. And then really just the holidays happened, spending time with some family and everything like that.
We went to Disney.
For your birthday.
We did. It was great.
And it was a lot of fun. We did it very smart, and we actually got to go on like a ton of rides and everything like that. So it probably was like one of the best days at Disney, because we like came back home and we still had a little bit of energy. We were like, oh, wow, okay. But then by the time like around night happened, we were dying with our legs. And our feet.
God.
Like we had foot mask and like, it was a lot. And then I checked, because I always wear Apple Watch. I looked at my Apple Watch. It said like we had walked like, I think it was 7 or 8 miles at Disney. It was a lot.
No, but it was
and it was
great.
A hot day too. It was hot as heck.
So this is the first year, honestly. I've lived in Florida 4 years, and most of the time my birthday's pretty cold. It's like 60 degrees. I know that's not cold, but it was, I think, 80 on my birthday this year.
Yeah.
So it was intense.
And it was a sunny 80. It was a sunny 80. No breeze. The only breeze that we had was like the massive amount of people just walking by us at once. That generated a soft breeze. But yeah, Disney was also packed too. And all the little kids like, Mom, I want to go on, and then snorting and stuff like that. I literally yelled at you, or I messaged you, and I was like, do not touch that counter, because there was just a sick kid hanging around on the counter. I saw the dad feeling the kid's forehead just start panicking, looking at his wife, going, Lily is sick. And I'm like, oh, you brought your sick kid to Disney. Get out of here.
Dude, listen, I know everybody wants a vacation, but please do not do that.
I swear, look, even if you don't think it is the COVID, if you have a cold, if you have strep throat, if you have influenza A or B, I don't care. Don't show up to places. I do not need that panic. I keep in mind too, people be like, oh, I only had a strep throat or something like that. Broski, I don't have tonsils. You know what strep throat goes into for me? Bronchitis. Do not do that, please. Like, you're over here like, oh yeah, I feel good after a lozenge, and I'm like on a nebulizer for 4 days, shaking because albuterol makes you shake. I'm just like, I have a little mask on and I'm just shivering in a corner because the medicine makes me shake.
You don't understand. I really feel like we need to get past the whole like giving each other colds thing as a society. I don't want a cold. I don't want a cold. Oh, I just have a cold. I have no. I don't want none of it. Even if you think you have allergies, please.
Yeah, I don't want to be in a same room with a person and I see them take their little hand and put the back of their hand on their forehead. I don't want to see that. If that happens in my house, I'm gonna be like, get out, because I just can't deal with it anymore.
No, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable.
No, that is barbaric. That is so 2006 of you. If you come in sick into a place, don't do that.
Absolutely not.
And you know what?
We're not going to stand.
Oh my God. Understand that it's hard to call off of work sometimes, but please, if you are not feeling well, just do whatever you got to do and lie. Lie. It's okay. It's okay if you're protecting yourself and others, Like, I don't need you with a cold flipping my burgers, flipping my salmon, whatever it may be,
No, like I said, as a society, it should not be accepted to give each other any type of sickness, cold or not cold, whatever you got. Even if you think it's allergies at this point, I don't want it. I don't even want to be sick. I also feel like as two immunocompromised people, we cannot get sick because a cold for us lasts 3 weeks.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, my cousins back in the day when swine flu was a thing, my cousins had swine flu for 3 days. I got like a swine flu byproduct because I didn't test positive, but they essentially like I got like a mutated form of it like a week later. Bro, I was out for 3 weeks.
I'm telling you, we don't react kindly.
A German woman sneezed on me in a Target. Rubella. I had rubella. You know that disease that was thought to be eradicated in like the 90s? Had a derivative of it.
That's tragic.
And now like it's just look, if you feel snotty, if you think, oh, it's just allergies, but you sneeze more than 3 times in a public space, it's time for you to go home.
Absolutely.
I get it. I got allergies, but oh my God, I'll sneeze in my shirt. I don't care if I get, sneeze on myself or anything. I'd rather do that than sneeze in some poor kid's mouth and give them rubella. My God.
I was me and Paula went to see Spider-Man, I think on the 22nd. Packed movie theater, right? Packed to the brim. I wasn't expecting it to be so crowded, but we sat down next to this man who had a kid, no mask on. We kept our mask on. When I tell you this man coughed, open mouth coughed 4 or 5 times. I was ready to leave because I was like, you're not going to, first of all, you're not going to wear a mask, right? In a crowded movie theater and then proceed to cough 6 times in front of everybody. I was so upset. How are you going to show up to Spider-Man and cough? How?
And then like even yesterday we saw Red Rocket in theater yesterday, and we saw it at a larger popular area and stuff, and it was packed to the gills. And so the one thing I spoke to you about, I was like, you're gonna go see a movie, Why are you bringing your 2-month fresh out of the womb child with you?
Yeah, I don't get it.
And
I don't
also,
get it.
it's like the parents are masked, but then that kid is subjugated to like from left and right. They don't even put like a little plastic protector on the kid.
No, not. I know what you're talking about. No, I don't understand that either. I can't understand. Look, I get like you want to bring a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old. That's fine.
Like if you're gonna go see Sing 2, go ahead. Take your little snotty kid to see Sing 2. But if you're gonna go see Spider-Man with your freshly ripened child, that's like literally if and I told you this too, if I can see the vasculature of your child, that child should not be out in public right now. Not during a pandemic. You know, you're not doing it like they always say, like, even if you have a cough, to never kiss babies because they are so immunocompromised. They're so like their immune system is not even there yet.
No, it's
the
not.
update hasn't occurred, you know? Like the update hasn't occurred. It hasn't happened, you know? And then they're just strolling through, you know, just subjugating that kid to whatever, whether someone's getting drunk and spitting rum on the kid's face or, you know, just something else. It's like, my God. Other places, you know?
I can't. The whole idea of bringing like a newborn, I've never understood it. Like a bringing, and when we say like newborn, we mean like 2-month, 3-month at least. Like baby,
if I
like
poke its head
fresh.
too hard, the police are calling me. You know what I mean? Because that's dangerous. You know, like if the head is soft and everything like that, like it's dangerous. You know?
Yes, no, I don't understand the concept. Like, why are you bringing a child that young outside? And during the panini, it's still a panini.
The panini?
It's still the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's not over. Also,
and it's also just not necessary. And I know people might say like, "Oh, hey, like, what if they can't find a babysitter?" Go see Spider-Man 2 another time, you know? I said Spider-Man 2. What year is this? Go see Spider-Man, you know, the newest one, whenever.
Yeah. Yes, yeah.
Like, it's just not worth it. And if anyone says, like, oh, but I want to have a good time, it's like, okay, weigh out your options. Do you want to spend, like, $50,000 because you had to put your kid in the NICU? Or do you want to just wait until, like, you can find a babysitter? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I don't really get it. But
that's crazy.
Nor
that's
do I
crazy.
approve, but you know.
Yeah. Also, another thing too, like this is a message to corporate America. Stop making wheat straws. I got a gluten allergy.
Oh my God. You don't understand. You guys, I go on TikTok a lot, right? When we go to Disney, when we go anywhere, I try to see the gluten-free options for my bestie, right? And then all of a sudden, because I was looking, oh, Hollywood Studios, Disney, all of a sudden somebody in the TikTok comment went, guys, don't drink the wheat straws. I'm gluten-free. I have celiac and I got poisoned by the straws. So of course I'm like, Stephanie, we can't have you getting poisoned.
And then I look like a fool because I have to ask for my iced peach tea to be put in a little sippy cup because I can't have the wheat straw and there is no other straw alternative. And you might think, well, Steph, you can just bring the travel straw. I understand that, but not during the panini, guys. No, I don't want to bring. I already have to like wash my clothes and everything. I don't want to wash a straw. You know, I'm not there yet. So it's just things like that. It's just like
Disney also used to have paper straws. I don't know if they just
because they suck. I will say they do suck because like after like 3 sips, the whole thing is bent. You know, and it's just not well made. I understand, but
yeah, but they should still have the option.
Like the whole save the turtles thing, like guys, you know, you could have just like not loitered the beaches. Like that was the alternative. You could have just recycled and not loitered the beaches. Not now give me a straw that I'm like allergic to and I gotta sip from the sides. You know, like an idiot. It's humiliating. I don't want to be no side sipper.
There has to be alternatives. There has to be alternatives.
And what am I going to do? I'm going to pull out a little bendy straw for me to use, like some 2018 Visco girl? I'm a grown woman. I can't be doing that.
No, you shouldn't have to subject yourself. There should be straws available for you.
There should be. There should be. Celiac people matter.
Yes.
I shouldn't need to, like, literally, could you imagine, like, and luckily, I'm also the celiac type where I literally don't feel the pain, but the damage still happens, and that's why I gotta avoid this stuff. Can you imagine I was one where it's like, can you imagine I'm taking a sip of my ice peach tea, and I start having a seizure? Because some people with celiac disease have seizure to gluten.
No, my
I would
little
have to live my life thinking it was the peach tea.
justice for glutinos.
Is okay, I know Glutinos is a brand, but is that like a slang for Latinos with gluten allergy? It should be.
I'm gonna call you glutino now. Stephanie
I'm a
the
little
glutino.
Glutino.
Yeah.
I can't. Let me just look that up again just to make sure it's not like a slur or anything. I know it's a brand, but just to make sure. Okay, it's just a brand.
What else would it be?
I don't know. People are crazy these days. You know, there's like a slur for everything now. It's just people are too intense.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But yeah. And then we went through some heartbreak. And by heartbreak, I mean, bro, who was gonna tell me about Gerard Depardieu? Who was gonna tell me about Gerard Depardieu? We had to find out the news about him of what occurred earlier this year while we're watching Get Out Your Handkerchiefs, which we're not talking about. But I had to find out about Gerard Depardieu after I received his book from my bestie as a Christmas gift.
Yeah, I was very disappointed. Also, it was also not in good taste that the book was called Innocent. So
For those of you who may not know, and may be just as surprised as I was, apparently the old fart at 72 was charged with rape in France.
Yeah.
Dog, what are you doing?
It was very it was shocking.
And it wasn't like, oh, he did this in the 70s and stuff. No, he did it 2 years ago.
Yeah, I guess that's why nobody knows though, because it is a new charge. But nobody's talking about it.
It's just whack. It's so disappointing. It's so whack. You know, it's like, why'd you do this, bro? Why couldn't you go eat a steak at one of your many restaurants? Why couldn't you visited your oil field in Cuba?
Anything else?
Anything. Like, literally anything. And you had to do that. You had to do that, bro. Come on. Bro, you were making so much money. Why'd you gotta do that? Why'd you gotta be scummy?
You told me, right, that he's like still like, I don't know about now, but before this, he was like France's highest paid actor.
Dude, he makes no less than like $1 million per role. He lives in a $45 million home.
What else does he need? Seriously.
Oh, come on. In your chateau? Come on, dude. Not cool.
Disappointing.
It's just awful.
Upsetting.
We had to find out. And then what also sucks is that we joke around saying like, ha ha ha, your boyfriend kind of looks like a French Depardieu. And then I told Zach what happened. And Zach, every time I'd be like, oh, Gerard Depardieu, he's like, you mean the guy who you says looked like me, who's fat? Because he's a fat man now, you know? And I'm like, no. But now that I told him that, you know, about Gerard Depardieu's misdoings, he was like, so now I'm fat. I look like the fat rapist? And I'm like, no.
It just gets worse for this poor man.
I feel
poor
so
Zach.
bad.
Poor Zach.
I'll just go back to saying that he kind of looks like Tom Cruise.
He
JK, he looks a lot like Tom Cruise.
He really, we're not exaggerating. It's very startling.
It's very like I had a little bit of a panic attack when I was looking up photos of The Last Samurai.
I told you.
Yeah. But so I'm in a little bit of a mourning stage because of it, because I just wasn't expecting it. I was really getting into Depardieu's filmography and everything, and he just had to ruin it.
Another actor we can scratch off the list, I guess.
I can't. It's just crappy. Who else is next? It better not be Alain Delon. I don't even want to Google Alain Delon now. There's probably shit on him too.
No, Alain Delon, a national treasure. I don't want to hear about it. No, I do. We need to know.
I mean,
we
like,
have to rename the podcast. We'd have to rename the podcast.
No, we would keep it Purple Noon, and then this would just become like our icon wouldn't be Alain Delon. It would either be Renee Clement, the director, or Patricia Highsmith.
Okay.
Either or. We got backups for that.
We would go into a crisis, though.
I can't. You had to ruin it. Dog. I can't see Siriano now because of you.
Oh, yeah.
Siriano de Bergerac. I think I'm pronouncing
I also
that right.
bought you. I'm so disappointed. I bought you a Criterion. Danton.
With him. With him in it, I know.
Ugh. The whole Christmas was just centered around
Bro, and
this
now,
new love.
as the French would say, horrible. That's horrible in French, right?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, it was just so, dude, I can't go to Epcot and I can't visit the France world now
But you
without
could
thinking.
no, just for Ratatouille.
I'll go for Remy.
Yeah.
I'll go for Remy. Can you imagine if Gerard Depardieu was a voice actor in that movie? I can't. I can't.
Thank God. At
It's
least that's for
ridiculous.
something. At least that's still sacred.
Remy the rat will always be sacred.
I still love William Dafoe.
Oh yeah, dude, we've been part of the William Dafoe Club for a while. I mean, we literally have pins that say Daddy Dafoe that I wore to see Spider-Man.
I love him. He's the best. I saw him in the new trailer. Have you seen the trailer for The Northman?
Yes, that looks
Love him.
really good. I'm just mourning. I'm in my little mourning phase.
It's okay. You can mourn. You have to.
And so yeah, of course we got Dafoe. And I think it's easy to say that we saw the newest Spider-Man. We won't do a review on it, but it is really great. Like, go see it.
Highly
like I feel
enjoyed.
like no offense to any film bros listening right now. Don't be mad at me, but I don't think it's worth reviewing. It's a great movie and I loved it and I cried for 3 hours. But it's just, I don't know, it's a little bit harder to review Marvel movies without getting into a huge discourse with someone,
I also think there's enough people talking about Marvel already. You know what I mean? Like,
That's true.
I think we all enjoy Marvel. I think Marvel's really fun. But in terms of reviewing Marvel films, I think that is already very saturated. And I think everybody on TikTok is already talking about it.
Yeah.
And we all have similar opinions. So,
I mean, once again, it is an awesome, awesome, awesome movie.
So
and
much
I
fun.
highly recommend checking it out. We do have some other things that are coming up soon, like newer movies that we're going to talk about. We saw the Red Rocket, and we will be talking about that soon. And we saw, what was the other one? Nightmare Alley. I think we have seen a few other newer movies and stuff, and I think we will see some newer movies together. But I will say, as for now, do not expect a Licorice Pizza review from us anytime soon. Not until it's like available on a streaming platform.
Yeah.
I've made a TikTok about it, talking about it and stuff like that. So if you want to know more on our opinions on that, you can check that out. But yeah, like, we're just gonna abstain from that one
For a little while.
Yeah. For now. But is there any other movies that are coming up that we gotta see?
I'd really like to see the new Kingsman.
Okay. And the Macbeth movie.
Oh, yes. Denzel.
That's gonna be awesome. And then I keep seeing things for the new Batman movie, but that's not until March. So, like, what else is new? I'm not a big Matrix fan.
Have you seen The Matrix?
I have. I've seen the older ones. I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
Okay.
I will say it's because I also, I watched World on a Wire first before I saw The Matrix. And I was like, it's the same thing, I mean, obviously it's a little bit different. It's a lot more action-y. But I saw World on a Wire first before The Matrix. And so I ended up gravitating more towards World on a Wire because of that.
I like The Matrix. I think it's fun. But I will say I'm a little with the new one. I don't know if it's going to be a situation where it's like just all nostalgia based, because I feel like what movies have been doing recently is kind of just harping on the nostalgia factor. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know if this new Matrix is going to have anything else to bring besides that. And that's where I'm kind of like, I'll see it for Keanu, of course.
Yes.
But gotta support that sweet man.
Of course. I love him. I told but I was supposed to be his assistant on a movie, and then the production people swapped, and I was no longer invited to be part of his assistant team.
A tragedy.
It was so tragic. The new Scream is going to be coming out. I'm not a big Scream fan either. But I don't know how I don't know if this is going to be.
I feel like it's the same issue. It could be.
it's just going to be a lot of regurgin, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I do have something to say though about
What?
new in terms of like I really, really liked, I think I told you about it, The Last Duel.
Yes, I really want to see that.
It did really bad in the box office.
Mm-hmm.
One way you guys can support it is by buying physical media.
Yes.
It's a way for them to get kind of their money back. Not a lot of people do it anymore. I know it's like kind of older, but it's definitely worth the watch for sure. So please go buy the DVD or something.
I'm going to Amazon right now and I'm adding it into my thing because I do want to buy. I also got an Amazon gift card for Christmas, so I'm
Woo!
going to use that partly. And then also we have Morbius coming out too. Morbius, I feel like could go either way. I like Jared Leto. I feel like Jared Leto gets crapped on all the time because he's goofy.
The dude's weird. I'll give it. Yeah, I gotta say the dude's weird.
But also because I do think like he really pours his heart out into roles that directors steer him badly. Like I genuinely, because I mean, Requiem for a Dream, amazing. He's amazing in Mr. Nobody. Like he's genuinely a talented actor. Dallas Buyers Club, which by the way, the director of that passed
Rip.
today as we're recording this, so rest in power, bro. But yeah, like I think he's a talented actor. I just think that he kind of reminds me of a Jim Carrey type in terms of acting, where he gets so into the character that the execution is good, but only as good as what the director and writers produce.
I don't know what they told them on House of Gucci.
I can't comment on that, so I haven't seen it yet, but
House of Gucci, I feel bad because I think every actor in that movie was like playing a different, like for a different film.
yeah.
It just seemed like everybody was like aiming for like a different tone of the film. It was very odd. I don't necessarily blame him.
Hot take, that movie should have been handed to Tom Ford. That was the biggest L of the century.
His character is in the film.
He should have played himself.
Dude, I don't know though, because maybe he would have saw it as like kind of disrespectful. I don't know if he didn't want to be a part of it. I don't know how
tight. I mean, I know he did like take over Gucci in the early 2000s in terms of like as creative director, but I don't know how tight he was to the Guccis in terms of family.
He saved Gucci.
Oh.
He saved Gucci. Single-handedly.
Yes.
Saved Gucci. And that's in the film. They kind of show that he kind of brought them out from the trenches. I don't know if he was like best friends with them, but there is like a significant role there. I still agree though. I think they should have at least asked Tom Ford.
Another hot take, Tom Ford is by far the most underrated director.
What else has he done? Has he only done one film so far?
He did Nocturnal Animals and he did oh my god, I'm blanking on the title for it. It was a Colin Firth movie, I believe. Let me look this up. He's got to be working on something new soon because A Single Man. He directed A Single Man.
Okay.
And that movie was stunning. When I tell you
that movie, I have not seen it.
We should definitely talk about it. I would love to talk about his stuff and everything because I do think for someone who just did fashion and then immediately jumped into the movie A Single Man as the director, it has an amazing. It's got like a 8 rating by like the Metascore and like IMDb. But essentially, A Single Man, it's about a English professor 1 year after the sudden death of his boyfriend is unable to cope with his typical days in 1960s Los Angeles.
Ooh, interesting.
And it's Colin Firth and Julianne Moore and Nicholas Hoult.
We should definitely see it.
We should, and we shall. But yeah, like, so I think he's super talented, just from coming left field and just literally able to make like 2 great movies. I love Nocturnal Animals. Do not get me started on Nocturnal Animals, okay?
I need to rewatch it. I don't remember it too much.
We're doing a Tom Ford double down. We're doing a Tom Ford double down. It's happening.
Sounds good.
But yeah, so Jared Leto, Morbius, and everything. I'll probably give it a go. I don't know how I feel about it. There is one movie coming out in January that I'm really hyped for because it is a Zentropa picture.
Okay.
It is called a Smagen Afsui, aka A Taste of Hunger. And it stars Nikolai Coster-Waldau, I believe is how you pronounce his name, where it's essentially a couple who sacrifice everything to achieve the highest possible accolade in the culinary world, a Michelin star. And the poster for it is awesome. It's essentially like Nicholas and the main female lead, Katrin Grace Rosenthal, like hugging each other and kind of cuddling each other, surrounded by like a plate of food, like surrounded by like food, and like there's like an octopus on them and stuff like that. It's a sick looking poster, but I'm excited for it.
Love it.
Because it's Zentropa. And then I'm surprised that they actually did make an Orphan 2.
I don't want to see it.
I really liked Orphan. But then again, I haven't seen it in like 10 years.
I just don't think we need another one. Oh,
That's fair.
know what? You know what I want to see? I do want to see the new Leo film.
Yes, that literally just came out.
I've heard pretty good things. I've heard pretty good things, honestly.
I really like that director because I was really a big fan of like The Big Short and everything. I thought it was well directed. I thought he really knows how to take what seems sometimes to be a little bit of a boring concept and really jazz it up and make it fun, you know?
Yeah.
There's that. And I'm looking at what February is going to bring. This one kind of looks interesting. There's one called The Outfit, Mothering Sunday, and then really The Batman.
We'll see how that is.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but not a lot of like crazy titles so far lined up for next year. There is, however, a new Fantastic Beasts movie coming out called The Secrets of Dumbledore.
I love Harry Potter.
I'm so happy you got into it.
That's going to be interesting to see how well that does.
Mm-hmm.
I told you how, like, essentially now, because all these problematic men are in films, they are essentially trying to scrub. I think Ezra Miller is in Secrets of Dumbledore, and I know they tried to scrub Armie Hammer from Death on the Nile.
100%.
So now that's kind of the direction they're going in. And I understand, like, I know there are good people that work on these films, and those films should be seen despite that person. So I get that it's hard.
Dude, there's still one more Halloween movie coming out.
They gotta end this. Michael Myers.
It's literally called Halloween Ends. So if they don't end it after this, they really got to think about what they're doing.
Jamie Lee Curtis is 70. That's it.
Crazy. And apparently, wait, Avatar 2. You're telling me Avatar 2 is supposed to come out next year? No, it's not. It's not. I'm telling you right now, it's not coming out.
I don't care about it.
Let's see. Is the same
Didn't ask for it.
Oh, wow. So right now, they do have the plot released for Avatar 2. Jake Sully lives with his newfound family formed on the planet of Pandora. Once a familiar threat returns to finish what was previously started, Jake must work with the Datiri and the army of the Na'vi race to protect their planet. So, Avatar 1 again.
Nobody asked for 5 of these.
Oh my god, yeah, there is 5 of them. I will say, a lot more people have been added to the cast. Kate Winslet is now a part of it. Michelle Yeoh, who's in that movie that we saw, she was in Shang-Chi, and she's in a new A24 movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I like
Everything,
her.
Everywhere, All at Once. That looks good, too. Of course, Sigourney Weaver is going to return. Sam Worthington. Jermaine Clement. Now, here's the thing. Do you know who Jermaine Clement is?
No.
That's one of the writers for What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh,
he was also one of the original vampires from the movie version of it.
Very cool.
So there's that. Edie Falco.
Interesting.
What's she doing here? Yeah, like okay. I mean, look, I don't know how this could. Apparently, also James Cameron is planning to shoot some footage 7 miles underwater in the Challenger Deep, the deepest point in the Mariana Trench.
I don't know. I just don't think we need another one. I just didn't think we need another one. But hey.
So this sequel will cost. Do you want to know how much they're already estimating so far, how much it's going to cost based on what James Cameron is saying?
Oh, God, how much?
$1 billion. $1 billion.
For Avatar 2?
Yep.
That is ridiculous.
That's crazy. And apparently Kate Winslet is going to be filming that underwater scene.
I love that.
Because she also has a 6-minute a record of filming a scene for like a 7-minute scene underwater.
That's really dangerous, but
yeah. And then let's see. So Disney announced it would be postponed. So, this movie is done.
Oh, it's done?
Yeah, because Disney announced that it was originally going to be released on December 17th, 2021.
Oh, they pushed it back a year.
In 2020, they pushed it to December 16th, 2022.
Oh, God.
That is...
I mean, yeah, $1 billion is on the line. I get it.
And apparently it's not just Avatar 2. There's rumors that it's going to be called The Way of Water.
All right.
And so this movie is literally going to be over 10 years after the first one.
Everyone's going to be so old.
Bruh, dude. Sam Worthington has literally, like, this dude has not, like, he's such a good actor. He has not been around in a lot of things. And I hope it's not because he's been, you know, shelling out for Cameron over here, you know?
I mean, I guess he's got like 5 more movies on too, though, because there's going to be 4. No,
Sam Worthington
3.
is also iconic. Like, if you are a gamer, you know Sam Worthington is iconic because Sam Worthington is actually the lead of, like, one of the main characters in Black Ops, Call of Duty Black Ops.
I see.
So you ever heard of, like, I'm pretty sure I've quoted it before, where it's like, the numbers Mason, what do they mean? He's Mason. So if you've ever heard that before, that is him in the video games.
Very cool.
Bro, bring back celebrities in video games. I really enjoyed that.
Me too.
Not just
it's
the
fun.
faces, bring back the voices. They had an amazing cast for the original Black Ops game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I liked Until Dawn. That was really fun to see everybody. Rami Malek was in it.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, literally in Black Ops, you had Ice Cube, Ed Harris, Gary Oldman, Sam Worthington. Like, what the heck?
All-star. Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, this has been a off-topic update for Purple Nuna Podcast. And so the next time you guys will be listening to us, we are going to talk about Red Rocket and Nightmare Alley, as well as we will also be reviewing not Godfather 1, but not Godfather 2, but we will be reviewing all Godfathers in a 10-hour movie marathon. It's got to be at least 10 hours if we were to watch it all in one go, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'll even give you a little bit of Staten Island trivia, since Staten Island is where I'm from, and parts of The Godfather was made there.
Love that.
You gotta bring it.
In your turf.
In my homeland of Staten Island. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for listening. We've missed you all. Hopefully you've missed us too. Hopefully you weren't like, Jesus Christ, thank God they ended. But thank you so much for supporting. As always, thank you so much to Sensei David, Homeboy James, and then we had another new subscriber too. We had another new subscriber on Patreon. I forgot the nickname that we gave him because I forgot to write it down.
What was his name? Do you know his name?
Let me double check.
We wrote it down somewhere.
Danny Boy. It was Danny Boy. I was thinking, I'm like, is it Billy Boy? But no, it's Danny Boy. Thank you so much, Danny Boy. If you want a cute little fun, cheeky little nickname at the end to be mentioned in every single episode, please make sure to check out our Patreon below, as well as in the description if you're listening to on YouTube. We have all the links to our social medias, TikToks, whatever it may be. We're still posted on there from time to time and whatnot. And yeah, just thank you so much for listening, and I think our first episode is not released until after January 1st, so until then, Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year 2022.
Bye.
Bye.